Hello folks, in today's video we will discuss about what are callback functions. So in one line, callback functions are those functions that we pass as an argument inside another function. So what is it? Let's see with an example. So here I have some code. I have two variables x and y and I have three functions, sum, mul and div. So sum is basically adding two numbers, mul is multiplying and div is dividing. And I have executed these three functions and these are the outputs 8, 15 and 0.6, which is correct. So now let me create another function and let's name this function as calculation, and it will take the arguments a, b, and it will take the third argument as a callback function, which will be one of these functions. So let's name this function as callback. Now how do I want to execute this function? So inside this calculation function I will call this callback function with the arguments a and b. That is also something I am getting in the calculation function. So now I can execute my calculation function in this way. So the first two arguments will be x and y, which is 3 and 5, and then I can execute any of the three functions over here which will be passed as a callback function. And as you can see, it is asking for a callback. So let's pass sum, and now let's see what happens. And as you can see, after 8, 15 and 0.6, it is once again printing 8, which is 3 plus 5, 8. Let's comment these three lines out to have a better understanding. So as you can see, this calculation function is actually printing out 8. So now you may be wondering that what is the need of callback functions? We can simply run this sum function, but because we are using callback functions, we can have more flexibility. So in the calc function, instead of passing sum, we can pass any of the three functions. So I can simply write over here, or let me simply copy. I can pass the mul function over here. I can also pass the div function, and I will get the results accordingly. So this is the flexibility that callback function is giving us. So, and that is the reason callback function is everywhere in JavaScript and also in React. So now we will take some quick examples of callback functions that we may already be using without knowing it. So we all know about the add event listener in JavaScript. We use this for DOM manipulation and many other things. So let's let me give one event over here, and let's give the event as mouse move. So this is the event that fires when we are moving the mouse, and I will simply log few things, e.clientx and e.clienty. Now what we have written over here is actually a callback function. This is using an arrow function, but instead of writing it like this, I can simply write function, and let's name the function as mouse move, and I can pass the e over here like this, and it will give me wherever my mouse cursor is. And we can also make it anonymous, and it will also give the same results. And here we can also use it the arrow function, which was previously the case. And so this is the thing, these callback functions are being used as arrow functions, normal functions and anonymous functions also, but mostly it will be used as arrow functions. So we can have another example with set timeout. So set timeout is something that is allowing us to do a task after a certain amount of time. So it is expecting two things. The first thing is the handler, which is actually a callback function, and the second thing is the number, which is the time, how much time do we want to wait. So here if I directly give the block code, it will come like this. So as you can see, here is an arrow function, and lastly it is expecting one time. So let me give the time as 1 second, and here let me print something, alert 1, and we don't really need any argument over here. So if I simply run this, after 1 second we will get alert 1. So now in callback functions, I will also discuss about one problem that we may be facing with callback functions, and that is called callback hell. And I suppose this is also called pyramid of doom. And what is it? And that is the case, let's say I have 3 or 4 of these alerts. First one is alert 1, which is coming after 1 second. And then let's say I have few more alerts that may be coming successively after 2, 3 and 4 seconds. So I can simply write over here, set timeout. After this one will be after 2 seconds. Then inside I will simply put my alert 2. And also I will be having 2 more alerts. So this one will be after 3 seconds and another one will be after, let's say, 4 seconds. So this one will be after 4 seconds, and I will also be having these things. So now when I am executing this thing, as you can see, I already got alert 1, then alert 2, and alert 3 and 4 will also come. Okay, all of these are 2, that's why this is coming like this, but we can simply change it, it's not a big deal. So what is the issue with this code? The issue with this code is about the structure. As you can see, this is forming a pyramid-like structure, and this is called callback hell or pyramid of doom. Now in this case also the code will work exactly the same as it is expected to be. The code is perfectly fine, but we are trying to avoid this kind of code. We don't want a pyramid-like code like this for better maintenance. So for that reason, we have other things like promises and async wait. So this is something we will discuss in a later video. So for this video, this is all that you need to know. Like, callback functions are extremely essential despite callback help. This is not something that we won't encounter always. For simple purposes like this, we can use callback functions, and which is absolutely essential and also very useful and also makes our lives easy. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.